bait's gone bad again. Third time this month. The supplier, Ocean's Best out of Portland, the one with the peeling blue sign, sent us herring that's half rotted before we even get the nets out. I'm telling this to my daughter Jessie over the phone while I'm elbow deep in the holding tank, pulling out the worst of it. She's 14, freshman year at Casco Bay High School, calling because she needs me to sign some permission slip for the debate team trip to Augusta next month. Dad, are you even listening? Debate team. I'll sign it tonight. I pull out another handful of bait that feels wrong. Too soft. Your mom would have been proud. You know she did debate in high school. You've told me like 50 times. The herrings got these, I don't know what to call them. Egg sacs? They're about the size of quarters, translucent, stuck to the fish like clusters of soap bubbles. Never seen anything like this in 23 years working these waters. My back's killing me from the haul this morning. 42 years old, and I feel it in every vertebra when the weather turns. I gotta go, Jess. Your Uncle Pete's waiting on me. You're still signing it tonight, right? I said I would. The egg sacs are making this sound. Faint, high-pitched, like when you run your finger around the rim of a wine glass. Love you, kid. Love you too, Dad. I hang up. Pete Drummond, my brother-in-law, married my sister Holly, is standing at the stern of the boat looking at his hands. The Linda Marie, named her after my wife before the cancer took her 6 years ago. Pete's 51, been fishing longer than I have, and I've never seen him look spooked by anything the ocean throws at us. You hearing that? Pete's voice is rough. Marlboro Reds for 30 years. Yeah, the egg things. They're humming. That ain't no humming. He's got his fingers pressed to his temples. That's singing. That's... Jesus, Ray, that sounds like words. I move closer to the tank. He's right. Not words exactly, but patterns. Rising and falling tones that feel like they're trying to shape themselves into language. The egg sacs are all pulsing in sync, expanding and contracting like tiny lungs. We need to dump this whole load, I say. That's 400 pounds of bait. Cost us $600. I don't care what it cost. Something's wrong with it. Pete's phone rings. He pulls it out, answers. Yeah. What? When? We'll be there in 10. He hangs up. His face has gone the color of old newspaper. That was Holly. Danny Oakes, you know Danny, runs the cormorant. He's at the clinic. He was sorting his morning catch and one of those egg sac things burst open. Got larvae all over his hands. He said they felt warm. Dicky. He washed them off, but now he can't. Holly says he can't talk right. He's trying to say words, but it's coming out all musical. Like singing. Danny Oakes, 56 years old. 3 kids. Grandkid on the way. On Spruce Street, the house with the green shutters and the lobster trap coffee table on the porch that his dad made in 1974. I see him every morning at Dot's Diner. He orders the same thing, 2 eggs over easy, bacon, wheat toast, black coffee. We're dumping this bait right now, I say. All of it. And we're burning the nets. Ray, we can't afford. Pete, we're dumping it. I start scooping the contaminated herring back into the bait buckets. The egg sacs keep humming. That singing sound is getting louder, or maybe it's getting inside my head. I can feel it in my teeth. My hands are shaking. I'm trying not to touch the egg sacs directly, but there's hundreds of them, stuck to every fish. The translucent membranes are twitching. I can see things moving inside. Larvae. They're about the size of rice grains, elongated, segmented. They're pulsing with the same rhythm as the humming. Hand me the bleach from the cabin, I tell Pete. He doesn't move. He's staring at his hands again. Pete, the bleach. I touched them, he says, when we were hauling the nets this morning. I felt something pop and I wiped my hands on my jeans. I didn't think. Where'd you wipe? Show me. He points to his right thigh. There's a dark stain on his Carhartt work pants. Wet looking. The denim around it seems to be moving slightly, rippling. Take the pants off. Right now. Ray! Take them off or I'm cutting them off you. Pete unbuttons his jeans. His hands are steady but his breathing's not. I can hear it catching in his throat. He slides the pants down. His thigh has a rash. Red. Welted. The skin's raised in small circles about the size of dimes. There's something under the skin. Moving. Burrowing. Oh Jesus, Pete says. Oh Jesus Christ, Ray. The circles on his thigh are forming a pattern. They're arranging themselves in spiral formation, spreading from the initial contact point up toward his hip. Each welt has a tiny opening in the center. Clear fluid is seeping out. We're going to the clinic, I say. Right now. Holly's there. She'll know what to do. She's a nurse. She'll. He stops talking. His mouth stays open but no words come out. His jaw is working like he's trying to form sounds but his throat won't cooperate. Then he makes a noise. A single tone. Clear. Like a tuning fork. Pete. He tries again. Another tone. Different pitch. His face is panicking but his voice is calm. Musical. He's trying to say my name but it comes out as 3 ascending notes. I grab the marine radio. Channel 16. Emergency frequency. This is the Linda Marie requesting immediate assistance. I've got a crew member with exposure to unknown biological contaminant. We're 2 miles southeast of Pemaquid Point. We need Coast Guard and medical support right now. Static. Then a voice. Female. Young. Coast Guard Station, Booth Bay Harbor. Linda Marie, this is Coast Guard Station, Booth Bay Harbor. We're receiving multiple reports of similar incidents along the coast. All available units are responding to priority calls. What is the nature of your crew member's symptoms? He can't talk. He's making musical sounds instead of words. He's got parasites burrowing under his skin. More static, longer this time. Linda Marie, proceed immediately to nearest medical facility. Do not, repeat, do not allow exposed individual to come into close contact with other personnel. Maintain isolation protocols. Coast Guard medical team will coordinate with local clinics. Be advised, all coastal fishing operations are suspended until further notice. This is not a drill. The radio cuts out. Pete is making more sounds now. Not random tones anymore. Patterns. Sequences. He's looking at me and his eyes are terrified, but his mouth keeps producing these pure, haunting notes that rise and fall like waves, like a song without words. The egg sacs in the holding tank are responding. Their humming is matching Pete's pitch. They're synchronizing with him. I need to get him to the clinic. I need to get these contaminated nets off my boat. I need to call Jessie and tell her to stay inside. Lock the doors, don't go near the water. But first I need to figure out how to operate the boat controls while my brother-in-law, the man who taught me how to tie a proper bowline knot, who was best man at my wedding, who held my hand at Linda's funeral, sings at me in tones that aren't human anymore. The Linda Marie's engine turns over. I push the throttle forward. Pemaquid Harbor is 20 minutes away. The clinic is on Harbor Road, the brick building next to the old fish cannery that closed down in 2008. Pete is sitting on the deck. His hands are pressed to his throat. He's crying. No sound except those musical tones that keep pouring out of him in rhythmic patterns. The welts on his thigh are spreading faster now. I can see them moving up his leg in real time. The skin is bulging, splitting, more clear fluid leaking out. My phone rings. Jessie. I almost don't answer. Dad, they're sending us home from school. There's something happening in town. They won't tell us what, but the teachers are freaking out. Everyone's parents are coming to get them. Can you pick me up? I'm on the boat. I'll be at the clinic in 15 minutes. Your Aunt Holly's there. I need you to walk, don't run, just walk normal, to the clinic and meet me there. Don't talk to anyone. Don't let anyone get close to you. If anyone's making weird sounds, musical sounds, you walk the other way. You understand? Dad, you're scaring me. I know. I'm sorry, but I need you to do exactly what I'm saying. Get to the clinic. Find Holly. Wait for me there. Okay. I love you, Jess. Dad. I love you. Go now. I hang up before she can ask any more questions. Pete is standing at the railing. He's not crying anymore. The musical sounds coming from his throat are getting more complex, layered, harmonizing with themselves somehow. His head is tilted back and his mouth is open, and the welts have spread to his torso now. I can see them through his flannel shirt. The fabric is soaking through with that clear fluid. The coast is visible ahead. I can see Pemaquid Harbor, the docks, the parking lot where I left my truck this morning. 2015 Ford F-150. Needs new brake pads. Registration expires next month. There's people on the docks. Lots of people. They're not moving normally. They're standing in groups, swaying. I can hear them from here, even over the engine noise. They're singing. All of them. Dozens of voices producing pure harmonic tones that carry across the water like a choir. No words, just music. Beautiful, terrible music that makes my stomach turn, because I know those are people I've known my whole life making those sounds, and they're not supposed to sound like that. Pete walks toward me. His movements are fluid now, graceful. He's still Pete. I can see him in there, his eyes recognizing me. But something else is moving him, coordinating him. He reaches out his hand. I step back. He opens his mouth. The sound that comes out is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. 3-part harmony from a single throat, rising and falling in patterns that feel like they're trying to tell me something important, something I need to understand. No, I say. Fight it. He keeps singing, keeps reaching for me. I grab the gaff hook from the cabin. 24 inches of fiberglass handle with a steel point that I use for landing big fish. Stay back, I tell him. I'm sorry, but stay back. The docks are getting closer. I need to get to the clinic. I need to get to Jessie. I need to make sure my daughter doesn't end up like Pete, like Danny Oakes, like all those people standing on the docks singing in perfect harmony while parasites eat through their brains. Pete takes another step toward me. The gaff hook feels heavy in my hands. Getting Pete tied down took. I don't want to think about it. The gaff hook helped, threatening him, keeping distance while I worked the rope around his arms. He didn't fight, just kept singing, kept reaching. I tie him to the cabin railing with dock line. 3/4-inch braided nylon rated for 5,000 pounds. He doesn't struggle against the rope, just keeps singing while I wrap it around his chest and arms. His eyes are still Pete's eyes, brown, same crow's feet from squinting at the sun for 30 years. But they're not focused on me anymore. They're looking past me, through me, toward the docks where all those voices are singing. I'm sorry, I tell him. I'm getting you help. Holly's gonna fix this. He sings 3 rising notes that sound like forgiveness. The Linda Marie hits the dock harder than I meant to. The impact throws me against the console. My shoulder takes it. Bruised tomorrow for sure. Pete doesn't even flinch. Just keeps producing those harmonics that are making my molars ache. The parking lot. Jesus Christ, the parking lot. 40, maybe 50 people standing in loose circles. Not random. Organized. They're spaced exactly the same distance apart. 6 feet between each person. They're all facing inward toward the center of each circle. Their mouths are open. The sound coming out is not chaos. That's what makes it wrong. If they were all screaming or moaning, it would make sense. But this is coordinated. Every voice producing different tones, but they all fit together. Major chords, minor chords, shifting between them in patterns that repeat every 16 beats. I recognize Dale Finch, owns Finch Hardware on Main Street. Bought sandpaper from him last week. He's standing next to Rhonda Kim, who runs the laundromat. Her daughter Emily is in Jesse's grade. They're both swaying slightly, their heads tilted at the same angle, their mouths producing sounds that slot perfectly into the harmonic structure. The clinic door is 50 yards away. Brick building, white trim, sign that says Pemaquid Harbor Medical Center walk-ins welcome, except someone's hung a bedsheet over it that says in spray paint, quarantine, do not enter. I grab the gaff hook and jump off the boat. The singing stops. All of them, every single person in those circles. They stop mid-note and turn their heads toward me. The silence is worse than the singing. 50 sets of eyes tracking my movement. Their mouths still open. I can see inside. The backs of their throats are pulsing. Something moving in there. Something that catches the light. I run. Behind me, the singing starts again. Different now. More urgent. Like they're calling. Summoning. The clinic door is locked. I pound on it. Holly, it's Ray. I've got Pete. Open up. Nothing. The windows are covered with paper from inside. I can hear voices, normal voices, people talking, but they're muffled. I pound harder. Holly, Jesse's supposed to be here. Open the damn door. The lock clicks. The door opens 6 inches. Face I don't know. Young guy, maybe 25, wearing blue surgical scrubs. He's got a Glock 19 in his right hand pointed at my chest. How many? What? How many bites? How many contact points? I'm not infected. I didn't touch anything. But my brother-in-law Pete's on my boat and he's... Is he singing? Yeah, he's singing. Then he stays on the boat. You come in alone. Hands where I can see them. I drop the gaff hook and raise my hands. The guy opens the door wider. I slip inside. He locks it immediately behind me. The clinic waiting room has been converted into something else. The chairs are pushed against the walls. The floor is covered with blankets and sleeping bags. There's maybe 20 people crammed in here. Some of them I know. Beth Tolland from the post office. Her son Kevin, who bags groceries at Hanson's Market. Old Mr. Patterson, who walks his beagle past my house every morning at 7. Holly comes out of the back. My sister, 46 years old. Strawberry blonde hair going gray. She's wearing her nurse scrubs, pink with little cartoon stethoscopes, but there's blood on them. Fresh, still wet. Ray. She grabs my arms, checks my hands, my face, my neck. Did anything touch you? The larvae? The eggs? I was careful. But Pete, Holly, he's infected. He's on the boat. We need to. There's nothing we can do for him. Her voice is flat, professional. The voice she uses when she has to tell someone their test results came back bad. The parasite moves too fast. Once it's in the blood, it reaches the brain in under an hour. It targets the speech centers first. Broca's area, Wernicke's area. It doesn't kill the host, but it repurposes those neural pathways. Destroys language processing. The infected can't talk anymore. They can only produce the tones the parasites need. Like a cicada making mating sounds. The young guy with the Glock is watching the windows. He's got the blinds cracked open just enough to see out. The singing outside is getting louder. More voices joining. Where's Jessie? She was supposed to come here. Holly's face does something I don't like. Holly, where's my daughter? She never made it. The school called me 40 minutes ago. They're in lockdown. Something happened. Some of the teachers got infected during morning duty when the fishing boats came in. The larvae were in the fog, in the moisture on the railings by the water. People were breathing it in without knowing. The school secretary realized what was happening when Mrs. Valdez, the math teacher, started singing in the middle of second period. They locked down immediately, but there's at least 5 confirmed infected inside the building. My hands are shaking. I ball them into fists to make it stop. How many students? 236. I'm going to get her. Ray, you can't. The roads are blocked. The infected are congregating at every major intersection. They're herding people, corralling them toward the water. I don't care. That's my kid. The guy with the Glock turns away from the window. We've got movement. They're forming up, getting organized. Holly pulls me toward the window. I look out through the crack in the blinds. The circles in the parking lot are dissolving. The infected are moving, walking toward the clinic. There's maybe 70 of them now. More coming from the side streets. They're not shambling or stumbling. They're moving with purpose. The parasites have taken over motor control. The singing has changed pitch, dropped lower. The bass notes are making the window glass vibrate. They want in, the guy with the Glock says. They've been testing the doors and windows for the last hour. The parasites are smart. They learn. They adapt their hosts. Who are you? I ask him. Trevor Ashford, EMT with Portland Fire. I was making a delivery run to the clinic when this started. Got trapped here with Dr. Morrison and these folks. Dr. Morrison. I know him. Phil Morrison, 62 years old. Handles everything from flu shots to broken bones. Delivered Jessie when Linda went into labor 3 weeks early. His hands were the first human touch my daughter ever felt. Where's Dr. Morrison now? Holly and Trevor exchange a look. He went out the back 2 hours ago, Holly says. Said he needed to get to his car, get medication from the pharmacy. He didn't make it 20 feet before they grabbed him. We watched them. She stops. They opened his mouth, breathed into him. He was infected in seconds. Now he's out there with them. Through the window, I can see Dr. Morrison. He's standing at the front of one of the groups. His white coat is smeared with that clear fluid. His mouth is open. His throat is pulsing with light. The larvae inside him are visible through the skin of his neck, glowing faintly, blue-white, like bioluminescence. The singing gets louder, all of them producing this rising harmonic sequence that feels like it's building toward something. Crescendo. They're going to rush us, Trevor says. Everyone get back from the windows. Now. The people in the waiting room scramble away from the doors and windows. Beth Tolland is crying. Kevin's holding his mom. Mr. Patterson is sitting on the floor with his back against the wall, his hands over his ears. How many rounds do you have? I ask Trevor. 1 magazine, 15 rounds. I'm not wasting them on infected unless they breach the building. There's 70 of them out there. I can count. The singing stops again. Complete silence. Every infected person frozen in place. The parasites controlling them sensed movement. Then they all take a step forward at exactly the same time. The beetles coordinate their hosts like puppets on strings. Another step. Another. They're not rushing. They're advancing slowly, deliberately, giving us time to understand what's coming. Time to feel the dread build. The back door, I say to Holly. Is it clear? Was 30 minutes ago. Could have changed. I'm going out that way. I'm getting to the school. I'm getting Jessie. Ray, that's suicide. So is staying here. You said they're herding people toward the water. That means they're organizing, planning. That means this building's going to be surrounded in, what, an hour? 2 hours? We're trapped here with no food, no weapons, and 70 infected who can apparently coordinate like a hive mind. I grabbed the gaff hook I dropped by the door. I'm a fisherman. I know these streets. I know the back ways. And I'm not leaving my daughter locked in a school with infected teachers breathing parasites at her. Holly grabs my arm. Hard. You bring her here. Not to your house. Not anywhere else. Here. We're organizing an evacuation. Coast Guard's sending boats once they've confirmed safe extraction points. We get everyone out by water, away from the coast. How long? They said 6 hours. It's all we've got, Ray. The infected are 10 feet from the clinic now. I can see their faces clearly. Dale Finch, Dr. Morrison, 20 others I recognize. They're not my neighbors anymore. They're vessels, incubators, walking nests full of parasites that want to burrow into my skull and eat my language and turn me into another voice in their choir. Dr. Morrison opens his mouth wider than should be possible. His jaw dislocates, hangs loose. His throat glows brighter. I can see the larvae writhing in there. Dozens of them. They're the size of my thumb now, growing fast, pupating. He takes a deep breath. His chest expands, preparing to exhale, to expel those larvae into the air in a cloud of infectious breath. Back door, I say, right now. Holly leads me through the clinic, past the exam rooms, past the supply closet where they keep the tongue depressors and alcohol wipes and blood pressure cuffs. The back door has a keypad lock. Holly punches in the code, 0-7-2-4. I watch her fingers, and the lock clicks open. The alley behind the clinic is empty. Dumpster on the left. My truck is parked 3 buildings down. I can see it. Ford F-150. Blue. Brake pad squealing when I left it this morning. 6 hours, Holly says. Bring her here in 6 hours or we leave without you. I'll be here. Ray. She hugs me. Quick. Hard. Linda would have known what to do. She always did. Linda would have told me I'm an idiot. Yeah, but she would have gone to get Jesse too. I run toward my truck. Behind me I hear the clinic door lock. The singing from the front of the building is changing again. Higher pitched. Excited. They know someone left. They're adapting. Hunting. My truck keys are in my pocket. I yank them out. The remote unlock chirps. I throw myself into the driver's seat. Engine turns over. Thank you, thank you. I pull out of the parking spot and that's when I see Pete. He's off the boat. The dock line is still tied around his chest, but he's snapped it. 6-inch piece of rope hanging from the knot. He's standing in the middle of Harbor Road, right in my path. He's not Pete anymore. Not really. The welts have spread across his entire body. His flannel shirt is soaked through. His face is bulging. The skin around his eyes and mouth is splitting. Clear fluid dripping down his chin. But he's looking at me. He recognizes me. I can see it. His mouth opens. The sound that comes out is the most beautiful, most terrible thing I've ever heard. 7-part harmony from a throat that shouldn't be able to produce that many simultaneous tones. It's a message, a plea, an invitation. Join us, become Nest, sing forever. I floor the accelerator. Pete doesn't move. The truck hits him at 40 miles per hour. The truck's front bumper is bent, blood and clear fluid streaking across the hood. Pete's body is 200 yards behind me in Harbor Road, and I'm not looking in the rearview mirror because if I look I'll see him trying to stand up again, and I can't handle that right now. The steering wheel's sticky where I'm gripping it. My palms are sweating. Route 130 toward Casco Bay High School. For miles. The radio's scanning through static. Every channel dead except one. Some kind of emergency broadcast on 91.3. Respiratory transmission confirmed. Repeat, the parasite is airborne. Avoid all contact with infected individuals. Maintain minimum distance of 20 feet. Do not attempt to communicate with or restrain infected persons. They will attempt to breathe on you. This is their primary transmission vector. State police checkpoints have been established on routes 1, 27, and 295. All coastal towns from Kittery to Rockland are under mandatory evacuation. Residents should proceed inland immediately. Do not. The broadcast cuts out. replaced by singing. Not static. Actual voices coming through the radio speakers, harmonizing. The same patterns I heard at the docks. How the hell are they broadcasting on the emergency frequency? I smashed the radio with my fist. The singing stops. Casco Bay High School is on Bayview Road. 2-story brick building built in 1987. Addition added in 2003. Jessie's locker is on the second floor, north hallway, number 247. Her combination is 14-28-36, and I'm the one who set it up when she started freshman year. The parking lot comes into view. Empty. No, not empty. There's cars but no people. The buses are still here. 3 yellow school buses parked in their usual spots by the gym entrance. No movement in the windows. The building looks dead. I park the truck near the main entrance. The doors are chained shut from the inside. I can see through the glass. The chains wrapped around the push bars. Padlock. Someone inside locked them down tight. I grab the gaff hook and run around to the side of the building. The gym has external doors. Fire exits. They're supposed to be alarmed, but maybe they're chained too. Every entrance I can see is secured from inside. Jessie! I'm yelling up at the windows. Jessie, it's Dad. I'm here. Nothing. The windows on the second floor are closed. Blinds drawn. My phone. Call her. I pull it out and dial her number. It rings 4 times, then goes to voicemail. Her voice, young, trying to sound mature. Hey, this is Jessie. Leave a message. Jess, I'm outside the school, south side by the gym. If you can hear this, get to a window. I'm getting you out. I hang up and immediately call Holly. Did you make it? She asks. I'm at the school, but it's locked down tight. Every door chained. I can't get in and I can't see anyone. Have you heard anything from them? Principal Dixon called the clinic about an hour ago. Said they have the infected teachers isolated in the cafeteria. They're keeping the students in the classrooms with doors barricaded. But Ray, she said one of the students is showing symptoms. A boy, sophomore. He was in the bathroom when Mrs. Valdez walked past. She must have exhaled near him. He came back singing. My stomach drops. How many students are in there with infected? She didn't know exact numbers. At least 40, maybe more. 40 kids locked in classrooms with teachers who are breathing parasites. 40 kids, including my daughter. I need to get in there. How? You said it's chained. I'll figure it out. 6 hours, you said. I check my watch. 1:47 p.m. 4 hours left before the evacuation boats leave. Ray, listen to me. The Coast Guard updated the timeline. They're not coming in 6 hours anymore. They're coming in 2. The infection's spreading faster than they thought. They're pulling everyone out at 4 p.m. and not coming back. If you're not at the clinic by then, you're stranded. 2 hours. Christ. I'll make it. Ray. I'll make it. I hang up. 2 hours to get inside, find Jessie, get her out and drive back to the clinic. Through streets that are filling up with infected. Through a town that's becoming a hive. The roof. The school has roof access. There's a maintenance ladder bolted to the back of the building. I've seen it before when I came here for parent-teacher conferences. Jessie pointed it out, said some kids sneak up there to vape during lunch. I run around to the back. There it is. Metal rungs running up the brick. Starts about 8 feet off the ground. I can reach it if I jump. I toss the gaff hook up onto the roof. It clatters somewhere above. Then I jump. My fingers catch the bottom rung. My shoulder, the one I bruised on the boat, screams at me, but I pull myself up. Second rung. Third. My boots slip on the metal. I'm not as young as I used to be. 42 years old and climbing a wall like some kind of action movie hero, except I'm wheezing and my arms are shaking. The roof. Flat. tar paper, air conditioning units, ventilation shafts, and there the roof access door, propped open with a brick. Someone left it open. Recently, the brick's clean, not weathered. I grab the gaff hook and head for the door. It opens onto a stairwell, concrete steps, metal railing. Everything echoes. I can hear singing, faint, coming from below, multiple voices harmonizing. The teachers, the infected teachers in the cafeteria, they're down there, singing, coordinating, breeding more larvae in their throats. I move down the stairs quietly. First landing, second floor. The hallway door is closed but not locked. I crack it open. The north hallway. Jesse's locker is down there, 30 yards away. The lights are on, fluorescent, humming. The floor's covered with papers, backpacks, books, like everyone dropped everything and ran. There's blood on the floor, not a lot, smears, handprints on the walls. Someone was bleeding, dragging themselves. The trail leads toward the cafeteria stairs. I move down the hallway, checking each classroom window. Most of the doors are barricaded, desks piled against them. I can see students inside. They're pressed against the far walls, away from the doors, away from the windows, terrified. Room 203, Mrs. Patterson's English class. I see Kevin Tolland, Beth's son from the clinic. He's in there with maybe 15 other kids. They see me through the window. Kevin's face lights up. He mouths, "Help us." Where's Jesse? He points down the hallway, toward room 207. I move faster. 206, 207. The door's barricaded like the others, but I can see through the window. It's Mr. Chen's chemistry class. The periodic table poster on the wall. The lab benches with their built-in sinks. And there Jessie. She's huddled in the corner with 3 other students. Emily Kim, Rhonda's daughter, whose mother is infected and singing at the docks right now, plus 2 boys I don't recognize. I tap on the window. Jessie's head snaps up. She sees me and her face does something I haven't seen since Linda died. Pure relief. She scrambles to the door, starts pulling the desks away. The other kids help. They're quiet, efficient. 30 seconds and the barricade's down. She opens the door 6 inches. "Dad, come on, we're leaving, right now." "We can't. Mr. Henderson's in the hallway, room 210. He's infected and he's trying to get out. If we make noise, he'll know we're here." Mr. Henderson, biology teacher, 48 years old, runs the science club. He was at the docks this morning checking on the research project his students were doing about coastal erosion. He must have been infected then. "Where is he right now?" Jesse points down the hallway. He's in his classroom, but he keeps trying the door, testing it. He's learning how the barricade works. Is there anyone else? Any other infected in the building? Mrs. Valdez is in the cafeteria with 4 other teachers. They're all infected. And Tommy Briggs, sophomore, he's in the bathroom by the gym. He locked himself in, but we can hear him singing. 6 infected, plus 230 plus students trapped in classrooms. "We're getting everyone out," I say. "Dad, we can't. If we open the doors, the infected will. We're not leaving them here to die. There's Coast Guard boats coming in 2 hours. Evacuation at the clinic. We get everyone out through the roof access. Single file, quiet. Then we run for the parking lot." Emily Kim speaks up. She's small, 90 pounds maybe, black hair in a ponytail. "My mom's infected. I saw her this morning. She was on the docks. Her voice breaks. She's not my mom anymore." "I know," I tell her. "My brother-in-law too. I'm sorry, but we're getting you out of here." One of the boys, tall kid, acne varsity jacket, says, Mr. Henderson's in the hallway. How do we get past him? We draw him away, I say. Make noise at one end of the building while everyone evacuates from the other end. Who makes the noise? Jessie asks. I look at the gaff hook in my hand. 24 inches of fiberglass and steel. Not enough to fight off 6 infected, but enough to buy time. I do. Dad, no. Jessie, listen to me. I need you to go to every classroom. Tell them the evacuation plan. Roof access. Out through the back parking lot. Everyone moves together. Quiet. You lead them. You're smart. You're good at organizing. You can do this. What are you going to do? I'm going to make sure Mr. Henderson and the others don't follow you. The tall kid says, that's suicide. It's buying time. There's a difference. I turn to Jessie. You get everyone to the clinic on Harbor Road. Your Aunt Holly's there. Coast Guard boats leaving at 4 p.m. Don't wait for me. If I'm not there by 3:55, you get on that boat. I'm not leaving without you. Yes, you are, because that's what your mom would want. She'd want you safe. She'd want you to live. Jessie's eyes are wet, but she's not crying. She's too much like Linda, too tough to break down in front of other people. You better be there, she says. I will be. I'm lying. We both know it. The math doesn't work. Draw off 6 infected, give the students enough time to evacuate, then somehow make it back to the clinic before 4 p.m. It's not possible. But Jessie's 14 years old and she needs to believe her dad's coming back. Go, I tell her. Start with the closest classrooms. Work your way down. 5 minutes, then everyone moves. She nods, grabs Emily's hand. The 2 boys follow. They move down the hallway, tapping on classroom windows, passing the message. I head toward room 210. Mr. Henderson's shadow is visible under the door. He's pacing, back and forth. The singing coming from inside is low-pitched, patient. He's waiting, learning. I pound on the door with the gaff hook. Hey, Henderson, I'm in the hallway. Come get me. The singing stops. Footsteps. The barricade inside the classroom crashes. Desks hitting the floor. The door slams open. Mr. Henderson stands there. His face is wrong. The welts have spread across his cheeks, his forehead, his scalp. His hair's falling out in clumps. The skin underneath is translucent. I can see the larvae moving beneath. Dozens of them, glowing blue-white. His mouth opens. The sound that comes out rattles the lockers. I run. Behind me, Mr. Henderson's footsteps are perfectly rhythmic. He's not chasing me like a human. He's chasing me like a machine. Programmed, efficient. The cafeteria stairs. I take them 2 at a time. I can hear the other infected teachers below. Their singing rises in volume. They know there's a new host nearby. Uninfected, fresh. The cafeteria doors. I burst through them. 5 infected teachers standing in formation around the lunch tables. Mrs. Valdez, Mr. Patterson, 2 others I don't know, and Dr. Morrison, still wearing his white coat, still glowing from the inside. They all turn toward me simultaneously. Their mouths open in perfect synchronization. The sound they produce is not horror. That's the wrong word. It's beautiful, complex, each voice carrying 3 simultaneous tones that weave together into something bigger than the sum of its parts. It's mathematics, it's architecture, it's communication from something that used to be human but has become something else. And I want to understand it. That's the worst part. Standing here with the gaff hook in my hand, knowing these things want to infect me, knowing they want to breathe larvae into my lungs, and I want to hear more. The sound triggers something primal in the brain. Auditory attraction, like a siren luring sailors. The parasites evolved to make their hosts produce sounds that draw in new victims. The teachers take a step toward me. I back up against the wall. Mr. Henderson comes through the cafeteria doors behind me. I'm trapped between them. 6 infected. 1 gaff hook. No way out. But the students are evacuating right now. Jesse's leading them through the roof access, out into the parking lot. They'll make it to the trucks. They'll drive to the clinic. Holly will get them on those Coast Guard boats. Jesse will live. That's enough. I raise the gaff hook. Mrs. Valdez opens her mouth wider. Her jaw dislocates. I can see down her throat. The larvae are pupating, forming cocoons, getting ready to emerge as something else, something winged. She takes a deep breath, preparing to exhale. The fire alarm's right there, on the wall next to the emergency exit. Red pull station. I've seen it 1,000 times at school events, basketball games, parent-teacher conferences. The sign above it says, "Pull down, alarm will sound." I lunge for it, grab the handle, yank down, nothing happens. Someone cut the power or disabled it, or doesn't matter. I've got 6 infected between me and the only exit and no alarm to draw help. Mrs. Valdez exhales. The air turns white, fog, mist, except it's not water vapor, it's larvae, microscopic, airborne, a cloud of infectious breath spreading toward me at the speed of respiration. I drop to the floor. The larvae cloud passes over me. I can feel it on my back. Tiny pinpricks. They're trying to find exposed skin. The back of my neck. My wrists where my jacket rides up. I roll left. Under the lunch tables. The infected teachers are moving now. Coordinated. 3 coming around the left side of the tables. 3 around the right. They're herding me, backing me into a corner where they can all exhale at once. Saturate the air. My phone's ringing. I grab it from my pocket. Holly. Ray, the students just arrived. Jessie got everyone out. She's asking where you are. I'm crawling under tables. The infected are closing in. Their feet are visible dress shoes, sneakers, boots, all moving in perfect rhythm. Tell her I love her. Ray, what? Tell her I'm sorry I'm not coming. Tell her. My voice is shaking. Tell her to remember her mom. Tell her Linda would be proud of who she's becoming. Tell her. Mr. Henderson grabs my ankle, pulls. I slide backward, the gaff hook's in my other hand. I swing it. The steel point catches him in the shin. He doesn't flinch, doesn't feel pain. The parasites have shut down his pain receptors. Just keeps pulling. His grip is impossible. The beetles enhancing his muscle strength with chemical signals. I have to go, I tell Holly. Ray, no. I hang up, drop the phone. Mr. Henderson's pulling me out from under the tables. I can see his face now. The welts have ruptured. Clear fluid streaming down his face. His eyes are still human, but there's something else behind them, watching through him. The other 5 infected surround me. They're standing in a circle, 6 feet apart, perfect spacing. Their mouths open simultaneously. I close my eyes, hold my breath. This is it. This is how it ends. Infected by my daughter's teachers in the cafeteria where I used to have lunch with her on early dismissal days, where we'd split the mediocre pizza and she'd tell me about her classes and her friends and her debate team arguments. Linda, I'm sorry. I tried. I got Jessie out. That's what matters. The singing starts, all 6 of them, producing harmonic frequencies. The sound is inside my head now, inside my chest, vibrating my ribcage, my sternum, my teeth. I can feel it affecting me, the frequency triggering responses in my auditory cortex, my brain chemistry changing, dopamine flooding my system, The parasite's mating call designed to make infection feel pleasurable, to make victims want it. No, no, fight it. But I can't fight physics, can't fight biology. The sound is a transmission and my brain is receiving it and… Gunfire, 3 shots, fast. The singing stops. One of the infected teachers, Mr. Patterson, drops. His chest torn open, clear fluid and larvae spilling out. More shots. Mrs. Valdez goes down. Then another teacher I don't recognize. Trevor Ashford comes through the cafeteria doors. The EMT from the clinic. He's got the Glock 19 in both hands. Professional stance. Square shoulders. Controlled breathing. "Get up," he says. "Now." I scramble to my feet. The 3 remaining infected, Mr. Henderson, Dr. Morrison, and one other, turn toward Trevor. Their mouths open, starting to sing again. Trevor fires twice more. Mr. Henderson's shoulder explodes. He staggers but doesn't fall. The parasites don't need his musculature anymore. They're operating him like a puppet. "Run!" Trevor shouts. I run. Through the cafeteria doors. Trevor's behind me. Behind him the infected are following. Moving faster now. They're not limited by human endurance anymore. The larvae are pushing their host bodies beyond normal biological limits. The main hallway. The front entrance is still chained, but there's the gym. The external fire exit. If I can get the chain off. "Where are the students?" Trevor's asking. He's reloading. Smooth. Practiced. Military training maybe. "They evacuated. Through the roof. Jesse got them to the clinic." "Good. That's good. Holly sent me to extract you. We've got maybe 30 minutes before the Coast Guard pulls out. Traffic's hell. Infected everywhere. They're congregating. Forming up into larger groups." We burst through the gym doors. The fire exits right there. The chain's padlocked, but the lock looks cheap. Hardware store special. I swing the gaff hook. The lock shatters on the 3rd hit. Outside. Fresh air. The parking lot. My truck's still there. Behind us, the 3 infected teachers come through the gym doors. They're not singing anymore. They're running. Full sprint. Their movements are fluid. Inhuman. The larvae have taken over motor control completely. Trevor fires 3 more shots. Dr. Morrison goes down. The other infected teacher, I never knew their name, drops next. Mr. Henderson keeps coming. His face is his face. The larvae have grown. They're visible now, pushing through his skin, emerging. They've got wings, translucent, veined. They're beetles, parasitic beetles the size of my thumb breeding inside human throats. He's 20 feet away, 15. Trevor's gun clicks empty. "Out of ammo," he says. Mr. Henderson opens his mouth. A dozen beetles crawl out. They take flight, heading straight for us. I grab Trevor and shove him toward my truck. We run. The beetles are fast. I can hear their wings, high-pitched buzzing. They're trying to land on our exposed skin, our necks, our faces. I yank open the truck door. Trevor dives in through the driver's side. I follow, slam the door. One beetle makes it inside. It lands on the dashboard. Its wings are beating. The sound is it's singing. The same harmonic pattern. It's calling for others. Trevor crushes it with his fist. Clear fluid spatters across the windshield. "Drive," he says. I turn the key. The engine starts. Thank God. I throw it in reverse. The truck lurches backward. Mr. Henderson's in front of us, covered in beetles. They're crawling out of his mouth, his ears, his eye sockets. He's become a hive, a walking incubator. I shift into drive and floor it. The truck hits him at 60 miles per hour. His body doesn't collapse. It explodes. Beetles everywhere. Thousands of them. The windshield's covered. I can't see. I'm driving blind through a cloud of insects that used to be a human being. The wipers. I turn them on. They smear the beetles across the glass. More clear fluid. More larvae. The windshield's turning opaque. Left, Trevor shouts. Go left. I crank the wheel. The truck fishtails. We're on Bayview Road now, heading toward Harbor Road. The clinic. 2 miles, maybe less. The town is ending. That's the only way to describe it. The streets are filled with infected. Not just people. Animals too. Dogs, cats, seagulls. Anything with a respiratory system. They're all producing those harmonic tones. All controlled by the parasites breeding inside them. The air is thick with beetles. With larvae. With fog that isn't fog but exhaled breath from 1,000 infected hosts. How many rounds you got left? I asked Trevor. None. That was my only magazine. So we've got nothing. We've got your truck and about 15 minutes before the Coast Guard leaves. The clinic's ahead. I can see it. The parking lot's mostly clear now. The infected have moved on. Migrated toward the water. Toward the caves along the coast. They're building hives. Breeding more beetles. The parasites need moisture. Darkness. Caves are perfect incubators. I pull into the parking lot. The front door opens. Holly's there, waving us in. We run. Trevor first, then me. The beetles are everywhere, landing in my hair, on my jacket. I can feel them trying to burrow, trying to find skin. Inside, Holly slams the door, locks it. Strip, she says. Everything. Now. Trevor and I tear off our clothes. Jackets, shirts, pants. Holly's checking every inch of exposed skin, looking for entry wounds, for larvae. You're clear, she says to Trevor. She turns to me, her face changes. Ray, your neck. I reach up, touch the back of my neck. There's something there, hard, round, buried under the skin. It's a beetle, Holly says. It burrowed in. How long ago? I don't. Maybe in the cafeteria? When Mrs. Valdez exhaled. I don't know. Holly grabs my wrist, pulls me toward the exam room. We're cutting it out, right now. How long do I have? If it reached your bloodstream, maybe an hour before it gets to your brain. Maybe less. Sit down. I sit on the exam table. The paper crinkles. Holly's pulling out instruments. Scalpel. Forceps. Gauze. Her hands are shaking. You've never done this before, I say. Neither has anyone. We're figuring it out as we go. She pours iodine on my neck. It's cold, stinging. Then she cuts. I feel the blade. Sharp, precise. She's making an incision about 2 inches long. Blood running down my back. I can see it, she says. It's, oh God, Ray, it's moving. It's burrowing deeper. Cut faster. If I cut wrong, I could sever your spinal cord. If you don't cut at all, I turn into one of those things. Your choice. Holly cuts deeper. I can feel her hands working. The forceps going in. Probing. Searching. Got it, she says. She pulls. I feel something tear inside my neck. The pain is I'm seeing stars. White spots in my vision. Holly holds up the forceps. There's a beetle in them. Alive. Thrashing. Its wings are trying to beat, but she's got it clamped tight. The thing is the size of a cockroach. His body is segmented. Translucent. I can see its organs through its shell. His mouth is opening and closing. Trying to sing. Jesus Christ, Trevor says from the doorway. Holly drops the beetle into a specimen container. Snaps the lid shut. The beetle throws itself against the plastic. Over and over. Its mouth producing tiny harmonic tones that I can barely hear but feel in my bones. We need to leave, Holly says. The Coast Guard's doing one more sweep. Final extraction in 10 minutes. If we're not on that boat, we're staying here permanently. Where's Jessie? With the other students. Outside. They're loading everyone onto the boats now. I stand. My neck's on fire, but I can move. Holly bandages it quickly. Gauze and medical tape. She's already putting on her jacket. How many made it? How many students? Holly doesn't answer immediately. Holly, how many? 218. We lost 14. Some were infected before the evacuation. Some got separated during the run to the clinic. She stops. Emily Kim didn't make it. She was helping her classmates get out and one of the infected teachers grabbed her, breathed directly into her face. She was singing before they reached the first floor. Emily, Rhonda's daughter, 14 years old. I just talked to her an hour ago. She was terrified about her mom being infected. Now she's infected too. Mother and daughter, both nests, both singing in the same harmonic key somewhere in the caves along the coast. Let's go, I say. We head outside. The Coast Guard boats are visible at the docks. 2 of them, 45-foot response boats, orange and white. Their engines are running. Armed guardsmen on deck scanning for infected. The students are in lines, moving onto the boats. I see Jessie. She's near the front, helping the younger kids, making sure everyone gets on safely. She sees me. Her face lights up. She starts to run toward me, but a guardsman stops her, points to the boat. She needs to board now. I wave. She waves back. Mouths. I love you. I mouth it back. Then she's on the boat. Gone. Safe. Holly grabs my arm. Come on. We're the last ones. Holly, Trevor, and me. The guardsmen are gesturing frantically. Hurry. Move. I look back at the town, Pemaquid Harbor, at the place where I've lived my entire life, where Linda and I raised Jessie, where I learned to fish from my father, where I buried my wife and thought I'd be buried someday too. The infected are coming back. I can see them, hundreds, thousands, moving as one organism, flowing through the streets like water. Their singing is audible from here, a chorus of voices that used to be my neighbors, my friends, my family. Pete's out there somewhere, part of the hive. Holly's husband Pete, who taught me how to tie knots, who was best man at my wedding, who I ran over with my truck because he stopped being human. Mr. Henderson's body is scattered across Bayview Road. Dr. Morrison's in the school gym. Mrs. Valdez in the cafeteria. All of them gone. All of them nests. I board the boat. Holly and Trevor behind me. The guardsmen cast off immediately. The engines roar. We're pulling away from the dock. The town shrinks behind us. The infected line the shore, their mouths open, singing. The sound carries across the water. Beautiful, terrible, calling us back. Jessie finds me on the boat. She's crying. I hold her. She's shaking. You made it, she says. I made it. Emily didn't. I know. She was right next to me, and then she wasn't, and I heard her start singing, and I couldn't. Dad, I couldn't save her. I know, baby. I know. She buries her face in my jacket. I can feel her tears soaking through to my shirt. Behind us, the coast of Maine is disappearing. The singing fades. The infected are just dark shapes on the shore now, getting smaller, until they're gone. But I can still hear them. In my head, the pattern, the harmony, the call. The beetle Holly pulled out of my neck. It was in my bloodstream for maybe 20 minutes, long enough to start the infection process, long enough to rewire something in my brain. I can hear them singing, always, even now, even out here on the water miles from shore. The Coast Guard's taking us to Portland, then inland, away from the coast. away from the nests. But the singing follows. It always will. The shelter in Augusta is an old National Guard armory. Brick building, high ceilings, cots laid out in rows. They're housing 473 refugees from the coastal evacuation. That number was 486 yesterday. 13 people have been removed, quarantined, showing symptoms. The beetles are still spreading. I'm sitting on cot number 147. Jesse's on 148. Holly's on 149. They assign you numbers when you arrive. Check your skin for entry wounds. Take blood samples. Monitor for neural changes. My neck still hurts where Holly cut the beetle out. The scar tissue pulls when I turn my head. The stitches came out 3 days ago, but I can feel it. The absence. The space where the beetle was burrowing toward my spine. I can still hear them singing. Not physically. The infected are 60 miles east of here, contained in the coastal quarantine zone. Military checkpoints on every road. Shoot on-site orders for anyone trying to leave. The news. What's left of the news. The stations that haven't gone dark. They're calling it the Whisper Nest event. Like it's some kind of natural disaster. Hurricane. Earthquake. It's not natural. It's parasitic. It's evolution. One species finding another species to use as an incubator, as a transmission vector, as a breeding ground. And I can hear them, in my head, the harmonics, the patterns, the mating call, its phantom sound, auditory hallucination caused by the microlarvae in my brain. They're triggering my auditory cortex, making me hear what isn't there, priming me. Dr. Patterson, no relation to the teacher, different Patterson. He's the neurologist they brought in from Boston. He ran tests on me, MRI, EG, spinal tap. He says the beetle was in my bloodstream long enough to deposit microlarvae. Too small to remove surgically. They're in my brain now, in my auditory cortex, in my language centers. They're not growing, not pupating. They're dormant, waiting for the right chemical trigger, the right pheromone signal from mature beetles. Then they'll activate, start consuming my brain tissue, repurposing my neural pathways to produce those harmonic tones. Jessie doesn't know. Holly does. She reads the medical reports. She knows I'm a carrier. She knows that if the larvae activate, if they detect the right chemical signal, I'll start producing those tones. I'll become an incubator, a breeding ground. She hasn't told Jessie. Neither have I. What's the point? My daughter's already lost her mother to cancer, her uncle to parasites, her home to quarantine, her friend Emily to infection. She doesn't need to know her father's carrying dormant parasites that could activate any time. She's sleeping now. It's 3:47 a.m. I'm watching her breathe. She's got Linda's nose, Linda's cheekbones. When she turns her head a certain way, I see my wife and it's... No, don't go there. Stay present. Stay aware. The singing's louder tonight. In my head, the harmonics are more complex. The phantom sounds intensifying. They were simpler yesterday. The larvae in my brain are maturing. Getting ready. The quarantine won't hold. Everyone knows it. The military knows it. The CDC knows it. They're just buying time. Time for what? Evacuation? Where? The beetles can fly. They can swim. They're spreading through animal populations. Wild birds. Migratory species. This parasite's going to cover the continent within months. They found infected deer yesterday. Moose. Bears. The parasites aren't limited to humans. They're infecting everything with lungs, with vocal cords, building their breeding population across species. Holly's awake. I can see her on her cot. She's looking at me. She knows I'm hearing them. She can tell. She's been monitoring me, checking my pupils, my speech patterns, my response time. Yesterday I hummed, just for a second, just one note, It matched the phantom frequency in my head perfectly, the larvae responding to my attempt to produce their mating call. Holly heard it. She grabbed my arm, hard. "Don't," she said. "Don't ever do that again." "I haven't, but I want to. That's the worst part. The larvae in my brain are making me want it, triggering reward pathways, making the idea of producing those sounds feel pleasurable. Chemical manipulation, the parasite's evolutionary strategy." Pete understood. That's what I tell myself. In those final moments on the Linda Marie when he was producing those tones at me, reaching for me, the parasites weren't trying to infect me out of malice. They were using his body to spread, to reproduce. Pete was already dead inside. Puppet. A shell. I killed him for it. Ran him over with my truck. Twice. Once on Harbor Road. Once in my nightmares every single time I close my eyes. I can see his face, the welts, the clear fluid, the beetles crawling out of his mouth. His eyes recognizing me even as the parasites operated his body. The last of Pete watching helplessly from inside his own skull while the beetles used him. Emily Kim, 14 years old. She was helping other students evacuate. She was being brave, being selfless, and one of the infected teachers, I don't even know which one, grabbed her, breathed into her face. She was singing before she reached the parking lot. Jessie had to listen to her friend's voice change, had to hear Emily's words dissolve into pure harmonic tones, had to keep running, keep leading the other students, while Emily's brain was consumed behind her, while the parasites destroyed her language centers and turned her vocal cords into a mating call amplifier. My daughter doesn't talk about it. She doesn't talk about much anymore. She sits on her cot during the day, reads the same book over and over, some fantasy novel with a dragon on the cover. She's on her 4th time through. She's not processing the words. She's just moving her eyes across the page, going through motions. At night she cries, quiet. She thinks I don't hear, but I do. I hear everything now. The larvae have damaged my auditory processing, enhanced some frequencies, distorted others. Dr. Patterson confirmed it. My hearing's picking up sounds outside normal human range. The beetles' wing vibrations, their chemical signals translated into phantom audio. I can hear the beetles in the quarantine zone, 60 miles away, their wings beating, their mouths producing mating calls, building their hives in the coastal caves, in the basements of abandoned buildings, in the holds of docked fishing boats, breeding, breeding, consuming. The Linda Marie's still out there. My boat, named after my wife, is part of the breeding ground now. The hull's probably coated with egg sacs, the holding tanks full of pupating larvae. Everything I built, everything I worked for, it's an incubator now. The parasites don't care about human attachment, human meaning. We're just hosts, just resources. The military's talking about firebombing the coast, burning everything, the towns, the boats, the forests, trying to kill the breeding population before they spread further inland. It won't work. The beetles are already here, in Augusta, in Portland, in Boston. They're spreading through the refugee populations, through the people who thought they escaped, who thought they were clean. Airborne larvae in the shelter ventilation, microscopic eggs in the water supply. The parasites are everywhere. Yesterday they found infected in the ventilation system. Beetles had crawled through the ducts, were laying eggs in the air filters, releasing larvae into the recycled air, infecting people in their sleep. They removed 60 people, quarantined them, but how many more are carriers? How many have microlarvae in their brains like me, dormant, waiting for the chemical trigger? I should tell someone, should report myself. Let them lock me up before I activate, before I start producing those tones and exhaling larvae at everyone in this building, before I infect my own daughter. But then Jessie would be alone. Holly's husband's dead. Holly's infected people at the clinic, lost her home, lost everything trying to help. She's barely holding on. If I'm gone, if I'm quarantined or worse, Jessie has no one. So I sit here, on cot 147, listening to the phantom sounds in my head get louder, feeling the larvae in my brain maturing, preparing to activate, to consume my language centers, to turn my throat into another broadcast point for their mating call. The quarantine zone's expanding. It was 60 miles. Now it's 45. The military's pulling back. The infection's moving faster than they can contain. The beetles are reproducing exponentially. Each infected host producing hundreds more parasites. Give it a week, maybe 2. The infected will reach Augusta. The refugees will be exposed. Some of them are already carriers. They'll activate, start producing those harmonic tones, breathing larvae into the shelter air, infecting everyone who gets close. Jessie will hear them. She'll want to understand. The auditory attraction is hardwired, evolutionary. The parasites produce frequencies that bypass rational thought, make you approach, make you curious, want to decode the pattern. I'll be producing those tones too. My mouth making sounds I can't control. My brain consumed by parasites that needed an incubator and found 42 years of human consciousness to repurpose, to destroy. Linda, God, Linda, you would know what to do. You always did. When Jessie had croup and couldn't breathe and I was panicking, you stayed calm. When we almost lost the boat to bank foreclosure, you found a way. When the cancer came back and the doctors said there was nothing more they could do, you planned your own funeral. Made it easy for us. What would you do now? What would you tell me? Fight it? I can't fight biology. Can't fight evolution. Can't fight microscopic larvae that are rewriting my neural pathways one synapse at a time. Chemical signals overriding my will, my humanity. Protect Jessie? I am. By staying human as long as possible. By not reporting myself and getting quarantined where I can't watch over her. Where she'd be alone when the shelter gets overrun. Run? Where? The beetles are everywhere. Flying, swimming, burrowing into any warm-blooded host. There's nowhere left that's clean. Nowhere the parasites haven't reached. The phantom sounds are so loud now I can't think straight. Multiple frequencies, layering, building, the larvae calling to each other through my auditory cortex, coordinating their activation, getting ready to consume my brain and use my body as another breeding ground. Jessie shifts on her cot, turns over, her eyes open. She looks at me. Dad. Yeah. Baby? Are you okay? You're shaking. I am. I didn't realize. My hands are trembling. My jaws clenched so tight my teeth hurt. I'm fighting the urge to open my mouth, to release the sound that's building in my throat, the harmony that wants to escape. Just cold. She knows I'm lying. She's too smart, too much like her mother. The singing's getting closer, isn't it? She asks. Yeah. How long do we have? I want to lie, want to tell her we're safe here, that the military will stop it, that the CDC will find a cure, that everything's going to be okay. But she deserves the truth. She's 14 years old and she's survived the end of her world. She deserves honesty. Not long, I say. Days, maybe hours. She nods, sits up. She's not crying. She's processing, planning. What do? We stay together. When it comes, when the singing reaches here, we stay together. Will you? Her voice breaks. Will you try to infect me? The larvae in my brain are singing yes, yes, yes. Join us. Bring her. She's young. Perfect nest. Perfect voice for the harmony. No, I force out. I'll fight it, long as I can. But Jessie, if I start singing, If my voice changes, you run. You find Holly. You get away from me. I'm not leaving you. You will, because that's what I'm telling you to do. Because I'm your father and you listen to me. You run. She's crying now, 14 years old, freshman in high school, should be worrying about debate team and homework and boys. Instead, she's sitting in a refugee shelter waiting for her father to turn into a parasite nest. I love you, she says. I love you too. We sit there, father and daughter, on cots 147 and 148, while 60 miles east the infected sing, while 45 miles east they spread, while in my head the larvae prepare to wake up. The singing's everywhere now, in the walls, in the floor, in my bones. Pete's out there producing mating calls. Mr. Henderson, Dr. Morrison, Mrs. Valdez, Emily Kim, thousands of people I knew, tens of thousands I didn't. All of them incubators, all of them broadcasting, all of them breeding more parasites, more beetles, more larvae looking for fresh hosts to consume. I open my mouth, just a little. The pressure in my throat is unbearable. The larvae forcing the sound out, overriding my voluntary muscle control. One note escapes. Pure. Clear. Perfect frequency match with the phantom sounds in my head. The parasites testing my vocal cords, preparing to use them. Holly's on her feet, moving toward me. Ray, no. But it's too late. The larvae heard me, heard my vocal cords produce their frequency. They're activating. Chemical cascade in my brain. Dopamine, serotonin, endorphins flooding my system, making infection feel good, making me want to keep producing those sounds. I can feel them moving in my brain, burrowing deeper, consuming tissue, connecting to my motor cortex, my speech centers, taking control. My mouth opens wider. 3 notes this time, rising scale, perfect pitch. The parasites operating my diaphragm, my vocal cords, my tongue, playing me like an instrument, broadcasting their mating call through my throat. Jessie's backing away. Her face is terrified. Dad, stop. Please stop. I'm trying. God, I'm trying. But the larvae are in control now. They're operating my body, using my lungs, my mouth, turning me into another broadcast point, another breeding ground, another incubator for the beetles that will crawl out of my throat and find new hosts to consume.